And this is the guy in charge of economic policy. You need to see this because he has no clue, absolutely no clue how the economy works. This one just is unbelievable. Look, it's kind of painful to watch. We're going to talk about it, but watch it. Stay glued to every word here. This is a new documentary that's coming out, and Jared Bernstein makes an appearance. Oh, now I really miss Drew. I really miss Drew. We're going to make sure we find a way to get this in here for you because I have to show you this clip. Truly unbelievable, horrible stuff. Okay, I got it right here on my computer, and we're going to find a way to do this because I got to show you. Unbelievable. Here we go.
The U.S. government can't go bankrupt because we can print our own money.
It obviously begs the question, why exactly are we borrowing in a currency that we print ourselves? I'm waiting for someone to stand up and say, why do we borrow our own currency in the first place?
Like you said, they print the dollar. So why does the government even borrow?
Well, again, some of this stuff gets, some of the language that some of the language and concepts are just confusing. I mean, the government definitely prints money, and it definitely lends that money, which is why the government definitely prints money, and then it lends that money by selling bonds. Is that what they do?
Oh my gosh.
They sell bonds. Yeah, they sell bonds, right? Since they sell bonds and people buy the bonds and lend them the money. Yeah. So a lot of times, at least to my ear with MMT, the language and the concepts can be kind of unnecessarily confusing, but there is no question that the government prints money and then it uses that money to I guess I can't really talk. I don't get it. I don't know what they're talking about. Like, because it's like the government clearly prints money. It does it all the time, and it clearly borrows. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having this debt and deficit conversation. So, I don't think there's anything confusing there.
Oh my gosh. I mean, this is who is in charge of our economic policy. I mean, I knew he was kind of not so swift. I've interviewed him and talked to him many times over the years. Nice enough guy, says the most stupid thing always and doesn't seem to understand the intricacies of economic policy, but I had no idea it was this bad. I had no idea. So just for the record, yeah, the U.S. prints all kinds of money. You know, we're like going wild with our printing press, especially lately. That's the Federal Reserve, thank you very much. And then, you know, it gets compounded by the fact that Joe Biden thinks he can hand out a third stimulus check and Chuck Schumer wants to pass all kinds of trillions of dollars worth of spending. Nobody has any discipline whatsoever. But yeah, they're spending. And yes, we're borrowing because you see we're issuing all these promissory notes effectively, right? We keep printing money and then it has to be worth something. So, okay, so we're going to sell it there on the open market. China buys them. And at some point, you know, China may not buy them, but right now we're still getting our treasury bonds bought. And as a result, people are realizing very quickly that the U.S. currency, the dollar, might one day have a problem. I mean, not necessarily now because we're still the prettiest girl at a really not so hot dance, right? I mean, like, do you want to invest in U.S. dollars or do you want to invest in the Chinese yuan? I'll take U.S. dollars, thank you very much. And I think most people would agree with that. But, you know, at some point, when you keep acting like an emerging market country like we are acting, you're going to have to pay some consequences. It's one of the reasons why I like gold. And we're going to talk about that in just a second. But first, still, back to Bernstein. I mean, this guy, listen to this. Okay. According to his Wikipedia page, he has a degree in music from Manhattan School of Music. It's conservatory, an okay conservatory. I attended New England Conservatory, it's better. Juilliard's better too. And then he went on to get a Master of Social Work from Hunter College, as well as a social welfare degree from Columbia University's School of Social Work. Oh my gosh, you guys, We have a social worker in charge of economic policy who can't explain what it means to have a treasury market or a printing press, courtesy of the Federal Reserve. That's how bad Joe Biden's administration is. Hacks. They're all a bunch of hacks. And they're manipulating and playing with your future and your money. And it's just so fundamentally wrong. And you know what? Don't take my word for it. Just look at the numbers. Look at where our economy is. We've hit stagflation, baby. I told you we would. I said it would be Carter 2.0. It's worse than that. And now we got this high inflation and no growth. And this guy can't even explain how the system works. I mean, wow. It's really pathetic. I told you it's one of the reasons why I like gold, and it is. I mean, I think gold should be part of any well-diversified portfolio. I've always thought that, in good times and in bad. It's one of those sort of consistent things that even in my own life, I feel is very important for myself and my family. And, I'm not your financial advisor, but even at 76 Research, 76research.com, my company that I co-founded with a brilliant investor, Rob Horton, we when we talk about things like having that sort of safety in your portfolio, it's one of the things that comes up. I mean, gold is just part of that. And so I'm really, really happy to tell you about a new partnership, a sponsor here on this program, American Hartford Gold. I mean, they are just a really, really terrific company, you guys. I am so happy to bring them on board. This is something that I care so much about. I want to make sure that everybody is able to provide for themselves in the future. And again, having a well-diversified portfolio means looking at things like gold. And this is a terrific company. I have been talking to the CEO over the last month or so, and he's going to be on the show actually next week. He's just great. Max Baker. This is a company that has a 5-star rating, thousands of reviews, A+ from the Better Business Bureau. And one of the things that I really liked when we started talking was this. You see it on the screen. They're willing to offer you up to $15,000 in free silver. I'm like, seriously? Wow. So I liked the sound of that. And, I think they're a great group. And I encourage you, if you're interested in investing in gold, and maybe you want a little silver along the way, right? Up to $15,000 free silver, you should text them. You see the number on the screen. You can text my name, Trish, to 65532. Again, it's Trish, to 65532. Or you can call them at 1-844-495-1115. I'm just trying to type this into our little chat so that you guys can see it. Let's see if I can do this. Because I mean, look, if you're interested in investing in gold, you might as well entertain the idea of the $15,000, up to $15,000 in free silver. So again, you can text. Look at this. Trish is texting it right now. Text Trish to 65532. There we go. You know what, Randy, I hear you. I'm just looking in the chat here. The last audit of the gold was Fort Knox, 1972. Look, I mean, we're not going to go back to the gold standard, but sometimes it's kind of entertaining to think about because we need some discipline. We need some discipline, baby.